Tonight on the Black Channel, the Democrats have made it known that Sheila Jackson Lee is firmly in the crosshairs for removal. You've outlived your usefulness. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting super fortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, we got a lot of ground to cover. The Democrats are running both for and against the civil rights era. They're running both in favor of it and against it. We got that to cover here. And also, starting off the program here tonight, let me all know if you all want to see an exclusive clip from my upcoming documentary film, 8 a.m. Not a trailer now, but an exclusive clip from the film itself. If you do, give me the fire emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me if you'd like to see an exclusive clip from it tonight. Or if you don't, that's perfectly fine. We can go ahead and stick to politics here. It's perfectly fine by me. So let me tell you, it's going to be a rough ride. It's going to be a hell of a rough ride for Sheila Jackson Lee. She's apparently messed with the bull and gonna get the horns in the great state of Texas. I want to show you something here. This is from the Texas Tribune. Now remember, this is all within the last couple of weeks here. From the Texas Tribune. After a bruising loss in Houston mayoral race, U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee faces her toughest re-election yet. Boy, they are letting her know you are on notice. You are on notice. From the Houston Chronicle. Remember, this is all this year now. Amanda Edwards outraised Representative Sheila Jackson Lee last year, signaling a competitive primary race. Boy, I'm telling you. This from the Texas Monthly. Sheila Jackson Lee has been in Congress for 3 decades. Challenger Amanda Edwards thinks that's long enough. Boy, they're coming at her now. They are coming at her. Used to be before now, they took it easy on you here, but just all at once in 1 month here, they're letting Sheila Jackson Lee know we think time is up for you here. Let me go ahead and start with this one here first. A man from the Houston Chronicle. So this is in Sheila Jackson Lee's backyard, really in her front yard, really in the damn living room. Amanda Edwards outraised Representative Sheila Jackson Lee last year, signaling a competitive primary race. Former Houston City Council member Amanda Edwards closed out 2023 with a sizable financial edge over U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee as she seeks to oust the longtime legislator in the upcoming Democratic primary. Edwards hauled in about $269,000 over the last 3 months of the year. They're talking about the last 3 months of 2023. According to her latest campaign finance report, Jackson Lee raised about $23,000. Folks, do you understand that? Amanda Edwards raised $269,000. Sheila Jackson Lee didn't even raise 10% of that during the last quarter of 2023. Now, please remember, the Democrats and all the rest of them will sit up here and have you believe that we over here in the new black media who have been calling this forever, talking about this forever, that we don't know what the hell we're talking about, we're irrelevant, that we're not sitting up here correctly reading the events as they're going to unfold, and yet here it is going exactly the way I told you. Hell of a spot to be in. Hell of a spot to be in. The article goes on to say here, still, after losing the race in mid-December and announcing her intention to stay in Congress, Jackson Lee disclosed just $3,420 in contributions through the end of the year. Nearly her entire haul over that 3-week period came from Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, a longtime political ally. Rodney, you could have put a down payment on the car. Edwards ended the year with nearly $856,000 cash on hand, compared with Jackson Lee's $223,000. Not even funny. The March 5th primary will offer the biggest test yet of Jackson Lee's staying power in the district she has represented since 1995. She has routinely cruised to re-election without ever needing to generate major financial support, going unopposed in the Democratic primary in 10 of her 14 re-election bids. On the 4 occasions anyone has bothered to challenge her, Jackson Lee won at least 2/3 of the vote each time. Edwards' campaign cast the fundraising disparity as a sign of trouble ahead for Jackson Lee, and the campaign spokesperson, Simon Persico, said it shows, quote, that people are not willing to invest in the Congresswoman's campaign. It was this Edwards' sharpest attack yet against Lee, whom she largely avoided publicly criticizing through the opening weeks of the campaign. A spokesperson for Jackson Lee's campaign did not immediately respond to a request for comment. When announcing her re-election bid in December, Jackson Lee said she felt, quote, compelled by the numerous opportunities still ahead to enhance the lives of my constituents. Not looking so great there at the Houston Chronicle. Not looking so great here in the Texas Tribune. Jackson Lee faces off against Amanda Edwards, her most formidable congressional opponent in 3 decades. I'm going to skip down a little bit here. This March, former Houston Councilwoman Amanda Edwards is hoping to replicate that political upset as she faces off against Jackson Lee in the Democratic primary for Congressional District 18. Jackson Lee, who did not respond to requests for an interview, has only drawn 4 primary challengers over her 14-term career, all of whom she defeated by landslide margins, winning 94% of the vote in 2002, 67% in 2010, 85% in 2018, 77% in 2020. She's a household name in her Houston-based district, known for her frequent visibility at constituent graduations, funerals, and baby showers. But last year, she ran for Houston mayor against then State Senator John Whitmire. It was a bruising primary, unfamiliar territory for Jackson Lee, and her campaign was roiled with negative media after audio of her berating her congressional staffers was leaked. She ended up losing the race by 30 points and then immediately announced she was running for re-election in the U.S. House. Edwards, a former Jackson Lee intern. For those of you who did not know, Miss Edwards used to be an intern for Sheila Jackson Lee. Initially announced that she was running for Houston mayor until the congresswoman threw her hat in the ring. Talk about hating. At that point, Edwards pivoted, endorsing Jackson Lee as mayor and beginning her own bid for Congress. But by the time Jackson Lee announced she was running for her House seat again, Edwards had already gained momentum. In the 4th quarter of last year, Edwards outraised the Congresswoman 10-1, $272,000 to Jackson Lee's $23,000. Jackson Lee now holds a narrow 5-point lead over Edwards of 43% to 38%, while 16% of voters remain undecided, according to a survey of likely Democratic primary election voters by the Hobby School of Public Affairs at the University of Houston. 5 points, according to their survey. 5 points. And I'm reminded of a title of a song by the rock band Tool, Invincible. In the middle of the song, they say, was once invincible, but now the armor's wearing thin. Now, remember, if this was just Jason Black talking, they would tell you that I was wrong. They would tell you that I'm just a hater. They would tell you that I'm negative. They would tell you I'm anti-Democrat. They would tell you it doesn't matter. By the way, if Sheila Jackson Lee's position is as strong as it has been, and if all of that baiting and switching about being against white supremacy and reparations and so on and so forth, if that hadn't taken its toll, I wonder, by taking a look on your screens, yeah, you thought the Houston mayor's race was an anomaly. No, it looks like there's just a softening of support all the way around. My job here is to give you the information and analysis that you'll receive nowhere else and to put you ahead of the curve. And while other people have you way behind, my job is to make sure that you are way ahead. And to be totally honest, this was the first article that I had seen on this subject. This was the first one from the Texas Monthly. Now, you got to remember, when you got this many newspaper publications who are coming out and all saying the same thing, that ain't coming from another politician. That's coming from the party itself. You all do understand that, don't you? All these outlets here saying all the same thing. That's coming from the party itself. The party itself is putting her on notice that, yeah, we think it's time for us to go ahead and pivot and move in a different direction. That's what they're saying. I want you to understand that. You don't get this many publications saying the exact same thing, and it's an anomaly. They're saying the exact same thing because this is message discipline. They contact their media friends and let them know that this is the message, and that the message is we need to go ahead and get to somebody with a longer runway in front of them. From Texas Monthly, Sheila Jackson Lee has been in Congress for 3 decades. Challenger Amanda Edwards thinks that's long enough. Amanda Edwards, who is seeking the Democratic nomination for Texas' deep blue 18th congressional district, rarely mentions incumbent Sheila Jackson Lee on the campaign trail. That's smart. Every time you mention Sheila Jackson Lee, you're advertising for her. If you see yourself as having the wind at your back and the momentum at your back, you don't mention the person you're running against. You just talk about yourself. On a recent evening spent crisscrossing the sprawling district that encircles Houston like a lumpy donut, Edwards, a 42-year-old municipal finance lawyer, I won't hold against you, maybe, delivered her stump speech at 3 neighborhood meetings. At the first 2, held in majority black neighborhoods, she made no reference to her opponent beyond calling for new leadership. So let me get this straight. Roland Martin, who told you that old folks are the future, remember that? What? Roland Martin, who told everybody that the old folks are the future, seeming to come into doubt now. At the third, before a mostly white audience in Houston's Rice Military neighborhood, she was a bit more direct. Now, isn't that interesting? When she was in front of black folk, indirect. In front of white folks, let me throw these elbows. This race is not about me or Congresswoman Jackson Lee, Edwards told the several dozen Houstonians who gathered at Messiah Lutheran Church. It's about you getting the results that you deserve. She predicted that, given the option of sticking with the incumbent at the voting booth, quote, those of you in this room will make a different choice. So this article here wants to point out how long Sheila Jackson Lee been there, and boy, did they find the most unflattering picture of her they could. She looking like John Amos over there. And boy, it's not a great thing. It is not a great thing, but folks, if you doubt me, if you wonder if Jason still has his finger actively on the pulse of what's happening and where this is coming from, if you are wondering whether or not our accuracy is still correct here, look no further than Democrat shill extraordinaire, Michael Eric Dyson. And Michael Eric Dyson, boy, I'm telling y'all, he put in his endorsement. It is true. A.K. Edwards TX, I guess that's Miss Edwards' Twitter handle, is the perfect person to represent the 18th Congressional District in Texas. She is a woman of integrity, character, courage, and vision, and will make a tremendous difference to her constituents. We are fortunate to have her in the race. Now, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself here. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, we are having a red bone uprising is what I think we're having here. What? Boy, I'm telling you, we're having a red bone uprising, ain't we? Oh boy, the light skin energy is giving them hell over there, ain't it? The light skin energy is giving them hell. Sheila Jackson Lee has found herself in the wrong damn place. All the red bones are ganging up on her. Oh, Michael Eric Dyson. What did he say? He took a look at the candidates. He took a look at his wife. He took a look at the candidates and said, hey, I got to vote for the light one. I got to do that. I got to back the light one. Got to do that. So Michael said, yeah, that's it, y'all. They said red bone rampage. They say it's going to be a red bone rampage during this primary season. Red bone rampage. So Black Enterprise Magazine wanted to say that Michael Eric Dyson endorses Democrat can't. Now, by the way, he did this yesterday. So he waits until the last minute to slip the blade between Representative Jackson Lee's shoulders. He waits till the last minute, right before it's time to go to the polls, and says, by the way, vote Redbone. Democratic candidate for Texas 18th Congressional District Amanda Edwards has garnered support for her campaign to unseat long-serving Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee from author and professor Michael Eric Dyson. The author of Unequal: A Story of America posted an endorsement video on Twitter X, pushing voters to vote for Edwards as the district's next congressperson in the March 5th primary. In under a minute, Dyson breaks down why he feels Edwards is the best candidate for the job. So you see, she liked it a whole lot. Let's hear what Michael had to say.
Hey, y'all. Michael Eric Dyson here. I am enthusiastically endorsing Amanda Edwards as the next congressperson from the 18th District of Texas. Why? Because she is a woman of character. Why? Because she is a woman of conscience. Why? Because she is a woman of consistency. Since I have known her as a Harvard Law School student until this day, she has been concerned about the least of these. She is concerned about healthcare, about housing, about educational advance, about economic opportunity. Give her your vote, and in return, she will give you her very lifeblood. She is a remarkable politician, but more than that, a remarkable person, committed to helping those who need and deserve to be helped. Her name is Amanda Edwards, and I approve this messenger.
All right, y'all. So the Redbone Rampage is on. All the media outlets here are saying Sheila Jackson Lee is old hat. Sheila Jackson Lee is yesterday's news. Sheila Jackson Lee is in trouble. Sheila Jackson Lee is just plain old. Michael Eric Dyson is now weighing in. Just a few days before and saying, by the way, let me tell you all the things that she is that Sheila Jackson Lee is not. Oh, boy. Yeah, all at once. All at once. Isn't that amazing? You've never seen anything like that happen before with Sheila Jackson Lee. You've never seen that happen. They usually let her breathe. They usually let her live, but not this time. This time, they've made it known that they want to move on. They've made it known that they want to move on. They want to see something different. They're not waiting for her to step down. And by the way, in case you all didn't notice, this sounds frighteningly familiar to some other people that I could name, doesn't it? Why, does anybody remember Keisha Bottom B?
What?
Does anybody remember Drunk Uncle Lightfoot?
Damn!
Yeah, buddy. Oh, just in case you thought that once the Democrats put them in a seat, that seat is reserved for life. By the way, just thought I would take a moment to remind you that, by the way, a number of black women have sat up here and said, you know what? The Democrats done gave me my seat. Let me go ahead and stick with that. Let me go ahead and stick with that. Now, you heard Michael Eric Dyson giving his endorsement. You heard him doing that. You heard him doing that, but what you haven't heard or seen is what exactly does Miss Amanda Edwards stand for? And I know we're moving real fast right now. I know we're going real fast, but I'm wondering what she stands for here. I wonder what she stands for. I wonder what she's about. Well, why don't we go ahead and take a look? If you go to her website, edwardsforhouston.com, it's time for the next generation of servant leaders who will take an innovative approach to resolving our lingering challenges, realizing our potential, and who will deliver the results our community deserves. Amanda represents the new generation of servant leaders.
What?
Oh boy, next generation, new generation. Okay. You just old. But you know what? Politics is one of the only places where being in your 40s makes you young. It's one of the only places in this world where being in your 40s is young. So, yes, sir, she's 42. And what she say? Look here. Kamala Harris's old hat. Y'all need a new red bone to represent. Y'all need a new red bone to represent high yellow supremacy. That's what we need. We need a new red bone to represent high yellow supremacy. So she is here to put in her bid. She says hello to the children. All right. Hello to the firefighters. Oh, not very well dressed, but okay. What is this brother over here dressed like? What's going on? All right, let's take a look at her policies here, okay? Let's take a look at her policies. As a member of Congress, Amanda will expand access to capital, training, and other resources for small business owners. Not sure what that means. Strengthen the rights of workers to unionize and collectively bargain. Fight for a true living wage for American workers. Create opportunities for workers by expanding apprenticeship programs and introduce innovative and modern approaches to job training. That when you said one sentence about business owners and everything else about jobs, workers, that means this is what the white folk get up here. The white folk get this first sentence up here. This is what they get. And then she gonna come to us and tell us, okay, here's everything else for y'all. Tackle the soaring costs of higher education.
Lie.
Okay, your student loans. Champion initiatives to support community colleges and fund innovative education initiatives in our neighborhood schools. Ensure that we are prepared for the future of work by providing support for job training for activities tied to carbon capture.
What?
Amid the energy transition. So basically we got us red bone Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who damn near looks like her. So that's what we got. So if you want to know why the Democrats chose her, yeah, that became pretty obvious pretty quickly here. Encourage our students to be prepared for the workforce of tomorrow by incentivizing innovation in schools. As a member of Congress, Amanda will increase access to health care by supporting the improvement and expansion of the Affordable Care Act coverage. Work to preserve Medicare, Social Security, and other benefits that our seniors rely on to serve. I thought you were part of a new generation. I thought she was a part of the next generation, new generation. And she's sitting here talking about the old niggas. Jason, did you have to say it like that? I sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
That went down in flames pretty damn fast, didn't it? Nothing about a black agenda, nothing specifically for us whatsoever. Does most of her campaign among black folk, nothing for black folk. Rising tide lifting all boats, but it sinks ours. So she's just more of the same. Here, vote for another 30 years of Sheila Jackson Lee. High Yellow edition. Work to codify the protections of Roe v. Wade at the federal level. So let me get this straight. More abortion clinics for black women and more health care, free housing, free schooling for the kids for the illegals. That's what that means. Fight against bounty-style abortion bans by pursuing protections that would prevent the stalking or hunting of people seeking abortion care. What? Now, I found this to be a little bit interesting. When Amanda served as HGAC, our regional planning body, she learned that our 8-county region will grow by 4.2 million people within 20 years. That's a bunch of illegals, what they talking about. With this type of anticipated growth, ensuring resiliency by investing in our transportation and flood mitigation infrastructure, housing stock, and the systems that power our region is mission critical. As the community grows, we must be prepared to lead on the energy transition and to combat the impacts of climate change. It was not necessary to put a comma here, but all right. As a member of Congress, Amanda will champion an improved, efficient, long-term funding system to address the unique infrastructure needs of the Houston region. What the hell does that mean? Work across industries and communities to ensure Houston will lead the energy transition. That means money for white companies and white startups started by white teenagers and white college students. That's what that means. Invest in multimodal transportation infrastructure to support the anticipated 4 million people joining our region. How about keep the illegal aliens out and you won't have to worry about building that? Work, and you can work on the infrastructure you already got for the black folk who are already there. How about that one? Work to right size our housing supply by expanding federal support for housing planning for cities and using federal resources to incentivize the building of new housing. This is bullcrap. This is garbage. What you need to have is for the federal government to sit up there and make it directly a program that gives money to black folk because we're the ones who be buying the houses. When you got the federal government funding that, the house builders will move right in because they don't want to miss the money. The other thing is you need to open that up to companies that are not even in America, by the way. That way you don't have to worry about the Lennar and these corporate domestic builders trying to keep prices high by building as few houses as possible. What you did after World War II. That's what needs to be going on now. Only now it's time to build suburbs for black people and all of a sudden you don't want to build any housing anymore. When it was time to build suburbs for white folk after World War II, they put billions of dollars into it. Now it's time to continue building out the suburbs for the black population, and you're saying to the black folks, see if you can get you an apartment downtown. See if you can go move into one of our apartments downtown. Develop innovative solutions to protect our residents from gentrification and displacement. You mean like the illegal aliens?
Damn!
You mean that? Displacement? And champion increased resources for CDBG programs. Support policies that combat climate change. What the hell is going on with her in this climate change thing? What the hell is her problem? That's not next generation. And you're not sending out a signal to white folk either. Support policies that combat climate change, which continues to pose severe threats to the longevity of our community. Our economics is the biggest threat to our community, ma'am. Then we come to this next section. And all I can say is, yeah, I got it on deck. As soon as we get to the next section. Now remember, she don't know how to name a group. She doesn't know how to name a group specifically now. Ain't said nothing about black folk yet. Hasn't named a group specifically. Wait till we get here. Amanda is inspired in her work by the deep civil rights legacy of the 18th Congressional District. The late legendary Congresswoman Barbara Jordan and Congressman Mickey Leland made our region an important hub in the fight for democracy and civil rights for everyone. Including red bones, apparently, everyone. Not for black folk, everyone. Yet today, our basic civil rights are under attack. Our civil rights have been under attack the whole damn time. They never stop being under attack. This is what happens when you hire a lawyer. Our rights have never stopped being under attack. Everybody else is doing good. We have never experienced any difference or change. Now listen to this next part. As a member of Congress, Amanda will champion a comprehensive approach to securing our democracy, including expanding and protecting voting rights and addressing the extreme gerrymandering that suppresses the votes of black and Latino communities.
What?
Well, there it is. Fight to ensure LGBTQIA plus people are federally protected from discriminatory policies that states, including Texas, are increasingly enacting. Now, she doesn't say to make sure that black people are protected, but then again, where her light, bright, damn near white self over here, I'm sure she got plenty of white male support and white male backing. I'm sure she's got plenty. Just a guess, just a hunch. It's just a hunch she's got plenty of white support and backing for her. I got a feeling she does. So she doesn't mention protections for us. She just says protecting voting rights. Protecting voting. But for gays, she can specifically name them to be protected. But for us, it doesn't protect black people, just protects your right to vote for light skins. So she's like, vote for me so I can make sure that more of you can vote for me. But for LGBTQ, okay, here's some tangibles. Here's what you can get. You can get protections. Fight for environmental justice. Develop comprehensive, equitable solutions for communities impacted by environmental injustice and resulting health. All right, blah, blah, blah. All right, so high yellow supremacy is in the house. High yellow supremacy would like to have your vote. So basically, we're stuck between the devil and the high yellow sea. We're basically stuck between the red bone and the deep brown sea. Is basically what our choices are now in the Houston area. That's what you got a choice between. Vote for the old house nigga or vote for the masses house nigga. Either one. Vote for one. Vote for the old one or vote for the new one. Vote for the one he brought off the boat or vote for the one he had with the missus. That's the choice you have today. Boy, she tried to lay that hair down too, didn't she? She's doing her best Gina Torres impression. She tried to lay that down. So, of course, Michael gonna be there smiling. She looks like a younger version of your wife, too, Michael. I couldn't help but notice that. Hey, Marsha. Couldn't help but notice. So, I see a similarity. He said, hey, red bones ahoy. I ain't hating. Do what you do. Do what you do. But I just couldn't help but notice. Little bit more. And she's going to look like Tulsi Gabbard. If they lighten these pictures of her anymore, she going to look like Tulsi Gabbard. If they lighten these pictures anymore. Couldn't help but notice that. So, more of the same. Oh, yeah. And at the very bottom, She'll advocate for community-led training and resources to support true community policing practices that build trust and collaboration between law enforcement and our communities. Support reforms included in the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So the George Floyd Policing Act doesn't really do much, and she isn't even backing the act. She says, I'll support some reforms that are in it. I don't support the act itself, just some of the stuff in it. Fight for common sense gun control measures. Yeah, go take that to the white folk. Support the expansion of community violence intervention programs, which are proven to make a difference in the safety of our communities. So in other words, not a damn thing for black people. Not a thing. Not a thing. Come here and enjoy some more high yellow silliness. But not a thing for black folk. That's what you're being offered. And it shouldn't surprise you because this is the same old smoke and mirrors. It's the same old, same old. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. But the point that they are trying to make here is that Sheila Jackson Lee is done. They are ready now to move beyond Sheila Jackson Lee. You don't raise that much money in Houston if the party isn't behind you, and the party is behind Amanda. The party is behind her. The party is backing her. She's the one they want. They want to know what it's going to look like going forward, and she's made it very clear to them, whatever the party line is, she's here to back it. That's what she's here for. The Democrats are trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Because earlier today, this is on the Twitter page of President Biden. Yes, sir, they've made yet another trip here to Edmund Pettus Bridge. They have made yet another trip to Edmund Pettus Bridge. Just in case you missed it the last 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 times. There's a story to tell about that too. There's a story to tell about that. And we are going to do that right after we take this very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before we do, would you all like to see an exclusive clip from my upcoming documentary, 8 a.m.? Before we do that, would you like to see a clip from 8 a.m.? Just a little something to show you whether or not we're breaking new ground, whether or not we're bringing you something different. Tell me whether or not you heard or seen anything like this before with all the other stuff. We brought you an all-star lineup. We have brought you an all-star lineup of straight legends across the board. Since Sheila Jackson Lee and Amanda Edwards and Michael Eric Dyson are not going to stop and talk about the only thing we're talking about, a black economic agenda, since they're not going to do it, we are. Since they won't be doing it, then we will be. And it'll be a little bit new for them, of course, obviously. They don't like us talking about these kind of things, but we're going to. All right, let's go ahead then. Ladies and gentlemen, a clip from the upcoming film, 8 a.m.
When you know too much and you show them you know too much, that's when they throw you away. And that's what happened to me. He was actually one of the suppliers when it comes to drugs and all of this stuff. He was one of the suppliers that will give the president of the record companies their drugs. And that's how he got in. Because back in the 80s, everyone did drugs. Meaning the record label owners.
Can you explain some of the explanations or rationales that artists are typically given for why their album didn't make any money?
They'll say, oh wow, this is a great question. I love this question. Even though I never answered it, I always wanted to answer this question.
Playing no games in 2024, laying it all out there. Just understand, laying it all out there. The insight and analysis that you'll receive nowhere else, directly from the source, asking the questions that nobody else asks and getting the answers that nobody else has gotten. So I'm just sprinkling you with a little bit right there. And if that's what I can give you in just 50 seconds, can you imagine what the rest of it's going to be? With Jason Black asking the questions. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we're taking a trip to Edmund Pettus Bridge. This is the Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess. I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One, and to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritOf1811publishing.com and show your love.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Natural Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. We got a lot of ground here to cover. And I want to bring us back here for a trip to Edmund Pettus Bridge. And these folks here, man, I'm telling you, these folks here, old Joe Biden, I guess he's figured at this point, screw it. At this point, screw it. Let me just go ahead and put it out there and just say, well, I've been for civil rights the whole time. I've been behind black folks the whole time here. This was posted today on Twitter today. 59 years ago, brave Americans sought to cross a bridge named after a Klansman in Selma, Alabama, to reach the other side of justice. Today and every day, we honor that legacy by fighting to protect the right to vote and uphold the integrity of our elections. He says, let's keep marching. So let's pray, but let's not rest. Let's keep marching. Boy, and then you go down to the comment section. First one says, say her name, Laken Riley. She was killed by an illegal alien. And listen to what she said. Joe Biden doesn't stand for women, or he would have stand for her. But the first thing she says is, say her name, Laken Riley. Say her name. Well, who was it who popularized that phrase? So, look here, the persistence. I'm interested to know, by the way, we know who popularized that phrase, say her name, after Sandra Bland. So I'm wondering where you stood on Sandra Bland, by the way. Oh, take a look here. The Robert C. Byrd Bridge. Oh, boy, Robert Byrd. All righty. Well, we wouldn't want to support Klansmen now, would we? We certainly wouldn't want to support Klansmen. No, Senator Robert Byrd. No. We wouldn't want to support any Klansmen. It's funny that a friend of Robert Byrd would post this. Okay. Integrity of elections. Let's keep marching. We will get you to the voters' booth soon. Oh, look, Amanda Edwards. She's hoping she gets to make this her constituency. So as you can see, the comment section is none too charitable when they see this. None too charitable. He got his photo op, but the problem is too many people see what's going on. The problem is that entirely too many people see what's going on now, and it's not going to be nearly as easy as it used to be to sit up here and get away with those things. But I want you all to recognize something. I want you to recognize something that's really insidious. Look it up. That's really devious when you think about it. When you think about this, you're dealing with something that's really devious here. Let me explain to you what it is exactly that's really devious about that. Do you notice that Joe Biden and Amanda Edwards and all the rest of these people, the only thing that they're offering us is, hey, we'll help more of you niggas vote for us. Vote for us, vote. Did you notice they're not offering anything else? Everything, the only thing they're trying to offer us is voting. Voting. For black folk, we'll help you to vote. The only thing you need is to vote. They say voting and prescription drugs. Well, that's for a bunch of old folk. Have you all considered that is actually the agenda of the civil rights generation? What? So they're waxing nostalgic about coming across Edmund Pettus Bridge, and now they're all out there with their walkers and poles, Jesse Jackson in his wheelchair. This is what they're offering now. But do you all understand that that's what the old folks are interested in? The old folks are interested in prescription drugs and voting for prescription drugs. They think that we're all stupid. You got to understand, these old folk weren't about opening businesses, creating an economic base. They were thrilled to be the workhorses playing in the NBA, getting a job at the post office, being the first Negro hired whenever, wherever. They were thrilled to have that and nothing more. That was perfectly fine for them. And that's why they look at us crazy today and call us troublemakers and say we need to get out the street and we doing too damn much. All Biden is offering them is, well, you remember all that voting now, and some prescription drugs for you there. Some prescription drugs. Arthritis medication for your old granny and Viagra for your old granddaddy. Neither one of them need it. She ain't walking and he's not using the Viagra, let me tell you. He's just wishing, but that's what they want. That's their electoral agenda. Any of you can go up to the free clinic or the hospital any day of the week and see the constituency sitting up in there. On election day, it ain't like they got nothing else to do. They're not building anything, and they never did. They're not building anything, and they never did. That's the critical point to keep in mind. They're not building nothing, and he's not offering them the means to build anything, and neither is Redbone Edwards either. She's not offering the means to build nothing neither, except to the white society. Now she is offering to them. For them, you need to build something. For the black folk, you need to just keep marching. So when they come and talk to us and we don't hear a damn thing about marching, we talking about building, not marching. We're done with the marching. We're taking a stand and we building. And that's the only conversation they don't want to have. They don't want to have that conversation. They're bringing Chinese nationals over here to America if they intend to build a business and if they bring the funds for it here. You got black folk here, the single most enterprising people on the planet. Are the descendants of the slaves here in America today. Everything we do is about moving for business, but unlike everybody else, they got the economics in a stranglehold for us. We talk about business more than anybody else, but we're also the folks that when it's time to talk about the money, they got the damn money in a stranglehold for us. I mean, they sit up here and get a pair of vice grips to turn the tap off when we pull up to fill up the bucket with some money. But they'll let these white kids sit up here and start fraudulent startup after fraudulent startup, fraudulent Bitcoin exchange after fraudulent Bitcoin exchange. Sam Bankman-Fried is just one of a long line of con artists that they gave not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions, not hundreds of millions. They gave him billions of dollars. Elon Musk has been living on taxpayer dollars. He started Tesla, which is directly taxpayer subsidized. Every single car that he sells has got the federal government made a law to make sure that Elon Musk would make money off of every electric vehicle he sells. Our black tax dollars are subsidizing a blatant, unabashed Afrikaner white supremacist and every enterprise he's built. Oh yes, SpaceX, which is directly paid for, Tesla, which is partially paid for with your tax dollars, SpaceX, which is directly paid for it, all in paid for it, while they tell you and me, oh, we can't just cut you no check. We can't just give you any money. You're giving it to Elon Musk. You gave it to Trump. You gave them money. You're giving it to these slumlords in New York City right now with their dilapidated housing. Why? You're giving them money. You're just giving them a check. They just had this great big sting operation that arrested 75 members of the New York Housing Authority, I think it is. Think about that for a few moments. They were so damn blatant giving out the permission to be a slumlord. Take a look what the hell happened. You're sitting up here telling us what you ain't got and what you can't do and what you're not able to offer, and we ain't got the money, and it doesn't work that way. It worked that way for Elon Musk. Well, it worked that way for him. And all we're saying is, by the way, it needs to work that way for us. As soon as we show up, oh, well, no. Calm down there, Leroy. It's you're moving too fast there. When everybody else shows up, we can get her done. When we show up, y'all need to wait. You need to pray. You need to march. You need to hope. You need to vote. But you're not telling nobody else that you're going to get them voting rights. Amanda Two-Tone Edwards over here wasn't telling the LGBT community that she was going to help them get voting rights. Did you notice that? If voting rights is so damn important, then why the hell is it that she didn't make that a bullet point of her policy statement? Hey, LGBTQ folk, we gonna help you get some voting rights. Notice she ain't saying that. You damn right I'm yelling it because nobody else is telling it.
And deal with it, nigga.
You damn right I'm doing it. This is an insult. In the middle of an election year, this is an insult. And this is why we've been beating the drum for the last 3 years about this, 4 years about this with Biden. It's the same old damn same. We've been beating the drum consistently. I said over 3 years ago that it was okay that Biden and Harris got elected because now they're going to have to show us that they're different and show us what they can produce for us. The onus isn't on us. The onus is on them. 4 years later, ain't a damn thing different, and they're not offering a damn thing from before. Obama was talking about healthcare, Biden talking about healthcare. Obama was talking about we need to get more of y'all niggas to vote for us, or Biden talking about getting more of y'all to vote for us. Not offering a different thing. Everything else is, well, we need something for everybody now. We need something for everybody. We're the most diverse country in the world. Except when you get to the leadership. Yes, we're the most diverse country on the planet right up until you get to the leadership. Then it looks like every other European nation. Looks like every other one. What did he say yesterday? I will continue to call on Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act so we can make police reform the law of the land. Problem, the George Floyd Act is not police reform. That's the problem. That's the problem. It isn't reform. It's not reform at all. And that's the main reason why Joe Biden, of all people, is sitting up here backing that, because he knows it's just another red herring. He knows he heard exactly what we said we wanted here. He ain't even offering a watered down version of reparations. Did y'all get that? Joe Biden isn't even offering a watered down version of it. He isn't offering any piece of it whatsoever. We said reparations across the board. They ain't touching nothing. But that's not the really frightening part there. The really frightening part is, by the way, the old niggas are not pushing on that either. I submit to you that Joe Biden is saying to them exactly what it is that they want to hear. The old niggas want to hear that we gonna talk about prescription drugs. That's what the old niggas want to hear. The old niggas want to hear that we gonna talk about prescription drugs and praying and dancing at the old Opry, the Grand Old Opry, and reminiscing about Edmund Pettus Bridge. Let me be clear, I am all for the struggle against white supremacy. Edmund Pettus Bridge was a significant moment, but there's nothing to brag about when you're talking about white supremacists busting you upside the head and you're going to show them that you're strong folks because you can take a licking and keep on kicking. We're not interested in that. Not even a little bit. That's why their response to white supremacists beating on them was to sit up here and pray and say, thank you, sir, may I have another. Our response to it was radically different. We're not the same. This ain't gonna work on us. There's nothing I'm reading here or seeing here that is in any way inviting to me. This ain't gonna work because we and this generation and the civil rights generation is not the same. And I ain't talking about Amanda Edwards either. We ain't like you either. By the way, we might want to go peek into her background. Might want to take a little bit of a peek into that one. See what's going on over there. No, we are not the same. Not even remotely. We are not the same. We don't want the same thing. We're not lined up at the damn clinic trying to figure out if we can get some diabetes medication. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting diabetes medication. What I am saying is you got folks in economic stranglehold. Every black person's experience is the same in the job market. Last hired, first fired. Constantly in between jobs. You're getting let go and terminated all the time behind bull crap. Illegal termination all the damn time. If that kind of thing was stopped, either because you had laws that protected us, or better yet, damn laws protecting us, we have the funds to protect ourselves. And we can be like Chinatown and the rest of them. We ain't worried about what you doing over there. We too busy building an empire of our own. You don't hear the old folks talking about that because I have told you now for over a decade and a half, they are not interested in revolution. They are not interested in revolutionary change. They are not interested in upsetting the status quo. At this point in their lives, they are simply interested in a peaceful death. They just want a quiet, peaceful death. They didn't fight for nothing when they were young. They didn't do anything when they were young. They didn't do anything when they were middle-aged. They danced the Dougie with Michelle Obama and sang Al Green with Barack Obama. And now all they want to do is be a bunch of old niggas wearing their plaid suits and their paisley jeans, sitting up here telling you and me about what they used to do back at Freaknik. And we ain't trying to hear it. This isn't change and this isn't progress. We've got an actual agenda that will change things. We're starting with us first. We're making no apologies. We are saying the word black and not biting our tongues. That's new. That's new for a lot of people, for us to advocate for ourselves. Latinos don't stutter when they say Latino. Asians don't stutter when they say Asian. LGBT doesn't stutter. You can't get them away from you sitting up here crashing events and disrupting it. As soon as they show up in front of you, they want you to stutter, and do like Roland Martin when it comes to talk about black. And we're not doing that. You sit up here and make us a damn footnote on your policy page, Amanda, then it sounds to me like you can beat Sheila Jackson Lee on your damn own. That's what it sounds like to me. However, you all might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open, and the number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you are welcome to join us. I'd like to send a big shout out here to my man, Mr. Richburg, and Sabrina Scott. Hadn't seen you in a little while here, Sabrina. Thank you very much for contributing to support tonight's program. My man Chadwick, Mr. LaBelle, Mr. Ford, Andrew L., and everyone else who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal or Venmo. You know, YouTube has got me hemmed up as far as the monetization. They turned it off here. Hell, they turned it off on all my channels here, actually. But I want to thank every one of y'all here tonight. Hit us up on PayPal or Venmo. The links are in the description, as well as the link for our crowdfunding for 8 a.m. The crowdfunding for 8 a.m. is live. We've raised... Man, let me go check and see exactly how much we got right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at that because it's been impressive. It has been impressive for just 1 week. I know it's been over half a decade since the last time we did this. It's been impressive for 1 week here. We are at 69,000 right now. We're at 69,000. I know we can get way over that before the program is over. So let's at least get over 71,000 before the program's over here. But we have done gangbusters on this. I want to thank each and every single one of you. You are a part of history, as you've seen from everything going on here. You won't have Black Enterprise Magazine talk about this. You won't have TV One talk about this. In this election year, we are reminding everybody that Black empowerment is spelled dollars, and we are not taking our eye off the ball. We're going to go ahead and go to the phone lines here, but before I do, for those of you who haven't seen it, just joining us, you're new here to the channel, let me go ahead and play for you the official trailer to our documentary film, 8 a.m.
We've grown up in a sea of white supremacy. I think that what slavery did for us is it created this sense that the white man's ice is colder and that we want to have a seat at that table and not a seat at our own table.
At LSU, we never had a conversation about the business of sports, about the money that's made. They don't want to have that conversation because you have that conversation, that's what creates movements.
Most people are miserable. They're depressed. They hate their life. Why do people hate their life? Because they're doing things they hate. Because they feel like they're scared they can't pay a bill.
George Soros probably said it the best, and he said that when he was broke, nobody listened to him, but when he broke the banks, over in Europe, he was able to start talking to the heads of state.
Are you listening? Is this thing on?
Let me tell you about the record industry. You walk into a major company, they got some of the prettiest women. You want some Perrier, you want some water. What do you need? The ones they got you, it was just like that. What have you done for me lately?
A lot of those athletes in college, 99% of them will not make it to that high level NBA, WNBA, NFL.
If an artist is not a puppet, he's not going to be pulled to the top. It's the bottom line.
Friends is friends and business is business. Never intertwining.
4 years in the making. Well worth the wait, in my opinion. 4 years in the making, and is the pinnacle of my work. The crowdfunding is now open. As you can see, this is like nothing you've ever seen before, and we're going places you've never been. With folk you didn't think would go there, you got me behind the wheel. Just wait till you see what we got going. The crowdfunding, my mods have been posting it. The link is in the description of the video. This is history in the making, and you are going to be a part of it. It's time to join us. Let's go ahead and get the telephone lines. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Let me get caller from area code 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Onan from Queens.
Onan from Queens. What's on your mind?
First off, brother, I want to give you your flowers for 8 a.m. I hope that the crowdfunding is a success, and I'm really looking forward to the film. Also, as far as reparations are concerned, I'm not sure if you heard, but, you know, the city plans to cut $53 million in the form of prepaid debit cards to give to, I think it's about 700 families in New York City. You know, but they're running this as a pilot program because apparently there's been a lot of food waste, and they want to cut these, well, not checks, but prepaid debit cards and give to these families so they could buy culturally relevant food. And, you know, I'm thinking if they got the money to do that, then certainly they got the money to pay foundational Black Americans. You know, we built the infrastructure of this country, and we haven't gotten our check.
You know,
and I'll land there. But
we're not a silly people, and all of us hear how silly that is. We're not a silly people, and all of us know when we're hearing silliness. One of the reasons for preventing us from gaining economic influence is because the first thing we're going to do is shut down stuff like that. Black folk don't sit around and have a bunch of silliness just running in circles. What they do is they'll grab political puppets. The dominant society grabs political puppets, and they got us over here sitting around with silly talk going on with us. All the talk they come over here with us were silly. You don't get to go on their side of town and have conversations like that. You don't get to go over there and discuss the silly stuff. Well, Jason, but aren't they charging the rich or taxing or this, that, and the other? I want y'all to understand this is called a poor tax. The rich folks in New York, this is the tax they pay to keep the poor folks occupied. You keep the poor folks and the downtrodden people and the working class people occupied with riffraff stuff like this, with mess like this. So they're staying out of your hair. Meanwhile, they're setting up cameras in Lower Manhattan to prevent you from even physically coming down there. They're doing that all at the same time. They're bringing in a new class of impoverished people to make up their workforce, but at the same time making it illegal for you to come down there where the big money is. Doing both of those at the same time. That's not accidental. That is the plan. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 571. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Shakir. I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia.
All right, Shakir from Arlington. What's on your mind?
It is clear that the role of black politicians, the Congressional Black Caucus, is to prevent us from taking part in affairs which concern us. That is the role of these politicians. We have a black agenda, and when you confront them with it, they address everything but that. Black first.
Black first, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. Let me get called from area code 415. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Denise in San Francisco.
Denise in San Francisco. What's on your mind?
Hi. Well, this woman here this morning, I looked at that part about that business stuff she talking. Well, that ain't for us. That's for them guys in the stock market world to be sitting up here meeting in these 5-star hotels, having a big powwow, expensive place. You can get in there and get food and booze and all that kind of stuff, and they're going to take that off their taxes. I went down there with some of them guys with some of that stuff at the, what's that famous hotel, the Hilton. And to my surprise, when I asked them about these politicians, their whole attitude was, hey, them bought-off bums ain't no threat to us or anything that we're doing now. Shut up so we can sit down here and eat and drink and figure out how we're going to make some more money. Okay? So this woman, she says all that financial jive. I'm like, what? That ain't going to help us.
No, I mean, look, she's a lawyer.
Boomers and all that.
What does that tell you? She's a lawyer. These are the folk you talking about. She's a lawyer. Those are the folks she works with. She works with them. She works with those are the people she deals with on a daily basis. She don't know none of us. She doesn't deal with any of us. She deals with them. She's their girl, not ours.
Yeah, you'll be astonished what they spend at those hotels for all that stock market training, whatever jive. It's just a big powwow party. They're going to take off their taxes. And if you're hanging out with them, you get to get in there and eat, drink, booze. And, hey, those hotels that go for $350 a night, you call them up and tell them you coming, they can get you in for $50 a night. And like I said, they don't see the politicians as a threat to anything they're doing.
Well, the real thing is,
whether a Democrat or
the real thing is that someone like her, she'll sit up here and she's been sent there by them. She's obviously one of their puppet girls. She's sent there by them. She's their candidate. She gets in the office. She's gonna do their bidding. She's their representative, not ours. She's gonna make sure that not only that they have access to money, but more importantly that we don't. So she'll be sitting there in the black folks district doing the white folks bidding. Now that's evil. Thank you very much for giving us a call. And then, by the way, when she does leave Congress, they'll have some corporate job paying her $3 or $4 million a year. When she does leave Congress, they'll have some corporate job for her to go saunter over to. They'll call it a consultancy. They will have made $3 billion and they'll give her $3 million a year when she gets done. Call from area code 980. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'd like to say good evening. This is Lawson from Dayton, Ohio, God's country.
Lawson from Dayton, Ohio. What's on your mind?
I want to express to you, thank you for creating the atmosphere, the climate in which we have to perform. I want to thank you again. I'm a guy who was born in 1960. Now, I'm not going to say I was a victim of the civil rights, but you have articulated. I was there at ground zero, and I fully understand and appreciate. And I want our listening audience to understand that the fight is going to be hard, and your words have served as mantra for us. Thank you again, and I look forward to future engagements.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 281. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Prince out of Richmond, Texas.
Prince out of Richmond. What's on your mind, brother?
Jason, I don't know this woman. She says that her uncle grew up in Fifth Ward, because she's going to be over, part of the district will be Fifth Ward, and it's getting gentrified like crazy. Our family home half a block away, they contaminate the whole soil with this Crisol plant, and they're building high rises right there. They're already developing that.
Well, apparently she was an intern for Sheila Jackson Lee. She's a lawyer, and she was on the Houston City Council, apparently.
Yes, and she went to Eisenhower. But do you know about her age? Do you have an idea?
42. Apparently, she's supposed to be 42 years old.
Oh, okay. So she was over there when it was still white. So they basically, Acres Home, they blocked the roads to keep, because Acres Home and Antoine, over there where Eisenhower was at, it's right there. All the well-to-do, rich, white, wealthy white people lived over there. Only black people lived in the apartments. And they blocked the roads. They only opened them up after that time frame, the 90s, and they only opened them up in the 90s. It was a segregated area. She went to the same high school as Dan Rather. Okay? So
I'd rather have
that's
Dan.
the high school she went to.
I'd rather have Dan.
Huh?
I would rather have Dan Rather represent me in Congress. I'd rather have him. Dan Rather has more of a black agenda than she does. I'm not joking. Dan Rather will represent black folk more openly than she will. He'll sit there and be saying black and talk about Malcolm X. So I vote for Dan Rather. Oh, he's not on the ballot? Write him in.
That's what irritates me, because I kind of like Dan Rather as a reporter, but I'm like, man, who is she popping up? And see, let me tell you, when it comes to LGBT stuff, they have one of the biggest gay pride parades here, but you can't come around us with that. Meaning flexing anything. Just be yourself. We chill. They down Westheimer and Montrose, and it's cool. She's trying to push that. She's trying to reach out to everybody but us, because she's trying to connect with that mayor, that new white guy, and he's a Democrat, but he's one of those like Dixiecrats. He was the first one to bust up in that church when they shot up Lakewood Church. He's the first one talking about, yeah, we coming down on crime, but that means coming down on the black people that live there, you see. That's what that is. How you coming down on crime and you ain't giving nobody no opportunity for no job? Ain't no jobs nowhere around there.
Well, I mean,
right
basically,
in our area, nothing there.
Basically, she just got elected and whatnot. I think it is. She just got elected. So they're running it looks like they're running the Obama playbook again. They found some light-skinned chick with no connection to the community and whatnot, but they know a bunch of Negroes tend to be color-struck, so they're going to see if that works. They don't know if it'll work, but they're going to see if we can run that playbook. And you're going to put her in politics. You just need to win one minor seat, and then you can go ahead and catapult her to the national level. So she's won one seat. You haven't had an opportunity for any scandals or any dirt to get on her, so hurry up and do that. And then you can go ahead and catapult her. And then once she gets to the national level, then, oh my God, all of a sudden, then you're going to find out where all the dirt is. But they're trying to hurry up and rush her is what they're trying to do. They've done this playbook so many times now. Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Cory Booker. So they find some light-skinned Negro or partly light-skinned Negro, light-skinned, partly Negro. And then they're running this again. So she's up next. They want to see if they can do this in Texas now. And that would be new for them. To get away with this in the South, that would be new. So they're going for it.
Yes.
Here we go.
I got one last thing I want to say. I want to ask you, Jason, because Sheila Jackson Lee kind of feed off at her. She did some cursing to her staff. She cursed them out behind this woman because she was kind of supposed to be working with her, and they flipped the script. When she went to be mayor and lost, this woman went for the seat. Do you think that? How do you see this going?
I mean, that's what it was supposed to be.
We don't rock with.
No, that's what it was supposed to be. Sheila Jackson Lee was supposed to go run for mayor. This chick here was supposed to run for Sheila Jackson Lee's old seat. So that's what was supposed to happen. Sheila Jackson Lee leaves Washington, goes to Houston. This girl here leaves Houston, goes to Washington. And then they put another person, in Houston to take her seat in the city council. That's what was supposed to happen. Apparently what has occurred is Sheila Jackson Lee got the word from the party. Yeah, we ready to move on. We need to get that seat. Yes. And she's like, you gonna have to pry me out of this. And they like, okay, we brought our tire iron. You going. And the fact that this woman has raised so much more money than her, brother, that's the party. Yeah. That's not just a bunch of enthusiastic voters. That is the party has gotten behind her. Sheila Jackson Lee knows this. She's been in politics all this damn time. She knows no girl just raise all this money like that if she doesn't have the support of the party. Sheila Jackson Lee knows this. She knows, hey, they here to muscle me out. They're here to muscle me out. So she's trying to do a Uncle Lori Lightfoot. Well, I ain't leaving. You're going to have to pull me up out of here. We brought the jaws of life. You coming. So you can walk out or get pulled out or get drug out, whichever you choose, but you're leaving. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah. Let me make something clear. They try to bring up Barbara Jordan. She's from Fifth Ward. Her family, her sisters, all her family from my neighborhood. Mickey Leland moved from the country as a little boy, and he was there. That's why she did that. Her dad owned a shoe shine place because as a little boy, Mickey Leland used to shine shoes. In our neighborhood, the blacks, my grandmother and all of them, they chose who was going to be the representatives. See, in our neighborhood, they represented black people. Barbara Jordan represented black people. So all this other stuff they're talking about, non-starter. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I mean, look, Sheila Jackson Lee got the word. They sent her the word. You need to get out of Congress. You can go run for Houston, but you got to get out of Congress. We done found our light-skinned delight down there in Houston. She's a better option. She got a longer runway. Black folk ain't really rocking with you like that. The reparations debate has ripped you a new one. This younger chick over here, we think we can slide her in. She doesn't have enough dirt, and we think the new black media hadn't really been following her, so we think we can go ahead and slide her in there real quick. Quiet as kept. We can slide her in undercover. And Sheila Jackson Lee probably would have been okay with it if she had won the race for mayor. As soon as she lost the race for mayor, she's like, screw this. I'm going to just muscle my way back into my congressional seat. And what she found out is, the party's got something to say about that. The party got something to say about that. Shout out to Snaps Wilburn and everyone else here who's contributed to tonight's program on PayPal or Venmo. Thank you all very much for your support. Let me get caller from area code 651. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Reginald Moore, and I'm calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, Reginald Moore from Minneapolis. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to say, Jason, that it's amazing to me how just the atrocities that our ancestors have gone through to provide this opportunity for people to come from around the world and immigrate from the terrible situations that some of them may have had to flee from to come to America to become doctors, lawyers, police, congressmen, et cetera, et cetera. You would think that concerning integrity, America would make it a point to pay tribute to our ancestors. But this place deserves to be the very shame that it is, and reparations should have been paid a long time ago, seeing how the destruction of our ancestors is what provided the opportunity for all of these people to make better of themselves. It's a shame, Jason.
Well, just understand, it's the point of it. The Robert Byrds and the Strom Thurmonds and the Joe Bidens, they all were of one mind, and they had a statement that those Dixiecrats used to have, that they would rather see the American flag trampled in the streets under the boots of enemy soldiers than to see it lost to the niggers. And I submit to you that's where they're at today. So the South Africa apartheid strategy is in full effect. How do we Anglos continue to run this place as a numerical minority? How do we do that? And we don't give a damn what's given up. And if what good was it to do all this conquest, to manifest destiny and slaughter all these people and do this, that, and the other, if we're just gonna lose it to the very people that our identity is wrapped up in dominating? Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We are not a physical people to this society and this government. We are a symbolic status symbol. Dominating us, oppressing us, mistreating us. Oppressing us is a status symbol. It is that which they judge and measure their identity by. They measure their prosperity by it. No, literally. You don't see them singling out anybody else the way they single out us. We're the only ones. Folks that dropped airplanes on them on 9/11, didn't bother them. China flooding the zone, don't bother them. Us, all of us, if you want to get a new law passed in America, just tell them that there's some nigga taking advantage of a white woman or a white person. Soon as you show some black person, quote unquote, getting away with something, then you see your so-called liberals Conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, all of them get on the same page. You want to get a law passed in this country? Just tell them there's a black person taking advantage of a white person or getting over on them. Next thing you know, while all the committees and all the chairmen, all of them are on the same page, while the bill will just sail through the legislature. The bill sails through it. When you show up, when we can't get out of committee, nobody wants to vote for that, can't get nothing done. Showed white supremacists killing black folk all over the place. Yeah, it's just a shame. Really can't get anything done there, Call from area code 305. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Arsenio, calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Arsenio from Atlanta. What's on your mind?
I just want to understand all this black talk. Where is it really getting us? I don't understand how we can be holding on to this black narrative when it was given to us by the so-called white man.
Okay, sir. What would you like us to call ourselves?
Well, everybody that's have.
Okay, so let's get to the chase. Let's cut to the chase, sir. What is the name you would like us to call ourselves? Just give us the name. Don't give us an explanation. What's the name that you would like?
Everybody's from different places. It doesn't matter what I would like. Everybody has a different lineage.
Okay, sir. Then you're not concerned about the name. Is that correct?
Yes, because when you use the term black, it groups everybody that's.
Okay, sir. I just asked you what is the name you would prefer. You've told us what you don't like. Okay, fine. What is the name you would prefer, sir?
Well, I would prefer for people to try to find out their lineage.
Okay, sir. Where are your people from? Where are your people from, sir?
Well, my great grandparents were Indian.
Okay. No, you talking about East Indian or West Indian, sir?
Well, West Indian.
Okay, sir. Now, what are we going to do about white supremacy, Mr. West Indian?
White supremacy isn't the problem for so-called black people in America.
So white supremacy is not the problem for us.
Black people in America is a mentality and a culture. It's not about white supremacy.
Okay, so you're saying that there is no white supremacy. You're saying that there's no white supremacy problem in America, sir? Sir, we want to make sure we're clear on this. You say that there's no white supremacy problem in America.
I said the problem for black Americans is not white supremacy. It may be a problem, but it's not the problem for black. It's not black America's problem. That's not a problem.
Okay, what is our biggest problem? What is our biggest problem, sir?
Problem black America is
okay, sir, what is our biggest problem as black people?
Our biggest problem is mentality and culture.
And you're an expert on mentality and culture.
I don't have to be an expert on mentality. Come on. No, I'm not an expert on mentality and culture. No.
Sir, we were sitting here to be graced by your precious wisdom here. We asked for answers and you said culture and mentality. And if you're not an expert on it and don't have anything to offer, that makes you seem pretty silly, doesn't it? Don't you have something to offer?
No, you don't have to be an expert on it to be able to realize and see things for what it is.
Okay, sir, then what is it? Then what is it specifically we need to do? Because you haven't yet told us what we need to do.
We as in so-called black people, the first thing we need to do is get right with God. That's the first thing we need to do.
What does that mean, sir?
That means pick up the Bible and try to follow as the best that we can to our ability.
Okay, sir, black folk are the most religious people in America. We have more churches per capita than any other people in America, sir. How's that worked out?
So you saying churches is the problem?
No,
That's
sir.
what
No,
you're
no.
trying to
Don't
say?
ask me questions, sir. I said we black folk got more churches than anybody else in America. How's that worked out, sir?
How many of those churches are actually living by God's word?
Okay,
and
well,
following
sir.
the Bible?
Okay, sir. Who are you to judge whether or not they are? You said we need to pick up the Bible. Black folk have picked up more Bibles than anybody else has. How has that worked out, sir?
The Bible is a guide. As far as people following it, most so-called black people don't follow the Bible. Yeah, they say
Okay,
they
sir.
can say they
Neither does
believe
white
in it.
society. Neither does white society, sir. Neither does white society or Asian society. So why are they ahead of us then? If that's the answer.
Why are they ahead of us?
Sir,
Black people
neither,
spend the
sir,
most
that was a
money
simple question,
out of
sir.
everybody.
Why is it these other folk don't need more religion than to pick up a Bible? Why is it they don't need it?
Because they have different values than black people have.
Okay, then what is it that they're doing that doesn't require them to pick up a Bible that we need to pick up one for?
They're valuing family.
Okay, why is it the Bible is the answer for us, but it's not the answer for them?
They're putting education. They're putting education above music and sports. Like,
okay, sir,
it's
why is it that the
different
Bible?
things.
No, sir, why is the Bible the answer for us, but it's not the answer for them?
Why does it always have to be about?
Sir, that was a simple question, sir. Why is the Bible the answer for us, but it's not the answer for these other people? Why is that?
Why are you just threatening to other people? It's not about.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
What are we doing?
There you go. Now, sir, can you tell us what do the West Indies need?
I'm sorry?
Now, you're over here in America. What do the West Indies need? Do they need more Bibles?
What do the West Indies need?
Yes, sir. What does the Caribbean need?
Why
Do they need more Bibles? Sir, no. You're the one who said no, sir. Sir,
What does West
you
Indies got to
said
do
we
with
need
black
more
people in
Bibles.
America in the struggle?
Sir, you
don't
said we
talk
need more
about West
Bibles.
Indies on your channel, but now you want to
Oh boy, he got triggered on that,
your
didn't
channel
he?
is called the Black Authority, right?
Boy, he got triggered on that one, didn't he? His panties went straight up his rear,
Is your channel
didn't
called
they?
the Black Authority or not?
Boy,
Is your channel
his
called the Black Authority or not?
that G-string went straight up his butt cheeks when I said that, didn't it? Boy, he got super mad. That G-string got oiled up straight up his butt cheeks when I said that, boy. He got real upset. Look here, Jamaican JJ. Look here, Jamaican JJ Walker. Dude, you don't have any. What you need to do, sir, how many Bibles do you need to take to the Caribbean, sir? How many Bibles do they need?
How many Bibles do who need?
Since you said that we need the Bible, does the West Indies and the Caribbean need the Bible, sir?
Everybody needs the Bible.
Okay, well, if everybody needs the Bible, apparently white society doesn't need it and Asian society doesn't need it, and you're not worried about them having it. Somehow they're doing great without it.
Yes, they do need it. Why would you think they don't need it? Because they have a lot of money?
You just said they had better. You just said they had better family. You just said they had better family education and culture. You just said they had better family education and culture. So apparently you don't think they need very much at all.
No, I say they value family. They value education. They put it above other things that black people don't. That black people does. They don't do that. We just don't.
That black people does. Okay, does that? So the West Indies does not.
So the West.
So the West Indies and Caribbean don't value that. The West Indians. So the West Indies and Caribbean don't value that. Okay, so sir, so the West Indies and the Caribbean don't value that, correct?
I don't know what they. I don't know.
Wow, you're one of them, but you don't know what your people value? Well, that makes you look pretty dumb, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't actually.
Yes, it really does. How you gonna sit up here and tell them what they need or don't need? You say
I'm
one of them. I don't know what they need.
Dumb because this is your show, and you got a thing with making people sound dumb and look stupid.
Sir, I'm repeating your words. I'm repeating your words. I'm not making you look anything. I'm repeating your words.
Argument to make me understand your point of view
you want to try to make it seem like
Sir, I'm just repeating your words. That's all
I'm
I'm doing. I'm not making you look nothing. I'm just repeating your words, JJ.
No, you're trying to. You're trying to. That's why I say
I'm literally repeating his words. You're like, you making me look dumb. No, sir, you making you look dumb. I'm just repeating the dumbness. That's all.
No.
Get your stupid rabbit ass off my phone. Hey, the West Indies, come pick your boy up. The banana boat dropped him off. Come pick your dude up. We need more Bibles. You need more Bibles in the West Indies? Don't be talking about the West Indies now. You don't know the better. Why you got the flag on it? We don't need it. Boy, I mean, he got triggered. He had his baby oil rubbing up his thighs, oiling himself up like Lil Nas X. Boy, as soon as I said that there, the G-string got to twiddling, didn't it? That G-string got to twitching like, oh, it was just riding. Yeah, you ever seen a G-string that played like a banjo? As soon as I said that, boy, his G-string started twanging. What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about that? Ooh, boy, he got super mad. Yeah, buddy, he said he don't want to hear me. We don't need to see nothing over there. All right. I wasn't the only one who caught that. Call from area code 817. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. My name is Kendall. I'm calling from Third Ward, Houston, Texas.
All right, Kendall, Third Ward. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Just going back to like the Sheila Jackson Lee. Like I'm out here and I see like she's not really putting up a lot of effort because I think she's trying to get that muscle memory vote because you just see signs with her name on it that are like garage sale signs, for example. They're
no, brother.
small.
No, brother. No, they've already talked about this. She ain't raised no money. The campaign finance records are in. It's not a secret. That's the reason they passed the campaign finance law so everybody can peek and see what everybody has been able to raise. Sheila ain't raised no money, bruh. She hasn't raised any money.
Sense.
The other girl raised damn near $1 million. Sheila ain't raised nothing.
Well, no, that absolutely makes the most sense because you see old girl's face everywhere, and you just see like the little whatever small signs in people's yards for Sheila Jackson Lee. I guess the people that still want to go with her.
I mean, look, man, here's the way it is. She's 74 years old, I think it is. She's old as hell now. This other girl went to 4 campaign stops in one day. Yeah, Sheila could do that 30 or 40 years ago. Ain't nobody, the arthritis is kicking in, the gout is messing with her right now, her shingles are acting up. She ain't got, brother, you can't sit up here and grab your grandma. Think about this for a few moments. If you grab your 75-year-old grandmama and told her, we're going to 4 campaign stops today. 4. That woman would take out her damn Metamucil, put it in a sock, and bust you over the head with it. There's no way you're not going to be able to do that.
She take off her wig by like the first and second stop.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. It's just there's just no way. You can't take the average 74, 75-year-old until a week. You got to put it pedal to the metal. You gonna have to put it kicking into overdrive for the next 3, 4, 6 months. This other girl, she can do that. She's 42. Sheila Jackson Lee is a septuagenarian. Look it up. She's in her 70s, bro. You can't. I'm just saying, she's old. She's out of money. She hasn't been energetic. She's been trying to rest on her laurels. Yes, the last 14 years were given to her. 14 terms were given to her. This one won't be. And the Houston election showed how politically weak she had become before she ran for mayor of Houston. The running for mayor of Houston didn't make her weak. She became weak before she ever got there. And the fact that she's been so anemic raising funds shows you that the bloom is off the rose. The enthusiasm is gone. And the what we've been saying the whole time, she's nobody's choice anymore. So they grab somebody who's young and up and coming and photogenic and multi-ethnic looking, something they can sell. She doesn't look threatening. She doesn't look, the white folks see her and she's not threatening. You know, nobody's gonna think she's threatening except maybe some fellow AKs. I don't know. But other than that, no, brother, that's not what it is. So no, Sheila is out of money. She's out of time. She's out of friends. All the writing is on the wall for an aged politician who has failed to remain influential and failed to keep up. It's just that simple.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I ain't seen no signs for it. She can't afford none. She raised $3,000 in the last quarter of 2023. Bruh, what's that gonna pay for? She can pay for a stack of flyers. What is she gonna do? Go to 5 campaign stops in a day? Come on now. I'm saying, if you grab your grandmama and told her we're gonna go to 5 campaign stops today, what time I got to get up? 5 in the morning. She like, this little nigga trying to kill me. It is what it is at this point. It is what it is. Call from area code 910. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, it's Frank calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, your phone broke up on you there. Who you call? Who are you?
Oh, yeah, Frank from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, Frank from Charlotte. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm going to make it real quick. This Amanda Edwards lady, while you was on the air earlier, I was actually trying to Google her, and it doesn't really give anything about her personal life, and I didn't know if you was going to delve into that maybe on a later show to kind of dig into her personal life to see who she's married to, where her family comes from, and all that stuff, and I thought maybe that makes a big deal. I didn't know if you was going to do that or not.
Well, I definitely think it's worth taking a look into here. I was really looking at Sheila Jackson Lee more than that because I was looking to see if the party was ever going to start supporting her. That's what I was looking for. When is your party going to step in and do what they usually do for you long-serving incumbents? When is that going to happen? And that hasn't occurred. So more importantly, no matter what happens to this Edwards chick, it's more telling if the party has decided that they're now ready to drop their civil rights retreads. Now that to me is more of a bellwether than anything else, that Elijah Cummings and John Lewis and them, they all gone. And now Sheila Jackson Lee, the last of that little bit that came in the 90s and whatnot, they're now ready to dump you overboard too. Make a clean sweep of it. And now you can see who they want to replace him with. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. The old dark-skinned black female, they're replacing them with the young light-skinned thing. And that's not accidental. Thank you very much for this call today. When you take a look at Kamala Harris, you see the exact same thing. By the way, I did go over here to the Indiegogo here. We're at over 71,000. I want to thank you all for that.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
And you all are the greatest of all time. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing your part here, and let's get in there and blow the doors off of this thing here. We're just getting started. Let me get called from area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, peace, Jason. This is Curtis, man. I'm calling out of St. Louis.
All right, Curtis out of St. Louis. What's on your mind?
Yeah, quick question, man. What? And I know this is highly unlikely, never happened, but what if Sheila Jackson, really went full tilt on reparations for foundational Black Americans?
Too little, too late. You can't parachute in. Too little, too late. You can't parachute in at the last minute. You can't parachute in at the 11th hour and then decide you're going to do that. If you're going to do that kind of thing, that's going to be part of a long-standing campaign agenda. You can't be wishy-washy on it. You can't have a situation where we take a look under the cover and it isn't there. It would be better to be Amanda Edwards and simply not touch the subject at all and see if you can cobble together enough votes from the disaffected other folk than to sit up here and try to bait and switch. You'd be better off doing that if you were going to do that kind of thing. Sheila Jackson Lee's issue hasn't been necessarily that, though. I mean, her issue is not what she's done in the last 2 weeks. Her problem's been what she's done in the last 2 years. That's been the problem. If she was going to get that coalesce that kind of thing, you would have been doing it before now. This Amanda Edwards chick is clearly talking beyond Black folk, and they'll trust her more because she's young and they don't know much about her. So they'll trust her more. Sheila Jackson Lee, the old folks, They pretty much figure no matter who gets elected, they're going to support them regardless. So in reality, the problem with supporting an ever-aging populace is your political base. The problem is they ain't making new of them, not making more of them. Every year you have fewer of them. That's the problem with catering to nothing but your base is the old. Every year you're going to have fewer of them. It's a far better thing to aim for the younger people because every year you're going to have more of those. Sheila Jackson Lee has tried to be the representative of the ancient. And what we're finding out is she's run out of a constituency, either because of numbers or because of policy. Pivoting to reparations is something that she should have, if she were going to make that move, she would have had to do that 2 or 3 years ago. There's a worse problem than that, brother. She couldn't pivot to reparations 2 years ago either. And the reason that that wouldn't work is because we don't believe you. That's the issue. The people that you would be bandying it for don't trust you and don't believe you. There's the reason why Joe Biden's not doing it. Yeah, because the folk he would need to believe him won't believe him. And with good reason. So it wouldn't work now. The time to do it was 2 years ago. But even if this candidate did it 2 years ago, we already got the track record there and we wouldn't believe her.
Indeed. Hey, brother, I just want to say, appreciate your wisdom. Congratulations to you on your movie and to the family, for raising that money. Black First Forever.
B1, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 713. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Last try, caller from area code 713. You're on live.
This is JD.
Okay, JD, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Houston, Texas. I just wanted to call with 2 comments. The first is I just want to, I know the Houston landscape a little bit and just give some defense to Amanda Edwards. She just didn't really pop up out of anywhere. She's really grassroots and has been in the community for a while. And so the people in Houston really know who she is. She's been a part of a lot of the major events that have happened, including the flood and, helping a lot of senior citizens. So she's well known in the community just with local Houston politics. And I guess now that she's popping up on the national scene, people think that she's just coming out of nowhere. But I think she's well known and she has a good reputation with what she's done in the community.
Well, okay. Well, slow down. Let me address that right quick, and let's just make your next point here. When I say that about her coming out of nowhere, really what I'm saying is not that, because Barack Obama didn't technically come out of nowhere, but you have a guy who 1 minute trying to go against Bobby Rush, next minute we got him running for president. And what I'm saying is, boy, she's gone from the local level to the national level in just a few years. Now, that's what I mean by out of nowhere, because I'm not saying that she hasn't. Slow down. You're talking over the host in case you didn't notice. I'm not saying that she came from, I'm not saying that she didn't do anything. I literally read the articles that talked about what she's been doing. What I'm saying is that there's a difference between a candidate who has organically gotten to that level versus a candidate who is so obviously being backed by the machine. She hasn't really done, she just last year was talking about running for Congress. So that's a really, really fast thing. She hasn't been working on that for years. She's been politically active for years. But to get this much momentum kicked behind you that quickly, boy, that doesn't happen unless you got the machine around you. Usually that's something that takes a couple of years of campaigning for that congressional seat. And that isn't what she's been doing. She's been active in politics at the local level. Yes, she has not been campaigning for that seat for 2 years. That tells you the machine is behind her.
Not that seat specifically, but again, she has been well known, and if you know Houston politics, then you'll know that was an obvious transition. And so I think overall, Sheila Jackson Lee may have made the mistake of trying to run for mayor, and that left the opening. Otherwise, that would not even have been, potentially what is happening. So I think that was just a strategic mistake. That's just my opinion.
I don't think so.
But I don't think that.
I don't think so. That's what I was saying before. Sheila Jackson Lee's political and financial support has imploded. That's the point I got to say. I chose the articles that I did for a reason. It's not just her political support that imploded. It's her financial support that imploded. Once again, I point you all to the article I was reading here before from the Houston Chronicle. Amanda Edwards outraised Sheila Jackson Lee in money. Not by a little bit. Not by a little bit. In the last quarter of last year, she raised 90% more than Sheila Jackson Lee. So that's not just she let off her game or she was running for mayor. She ran for mayor and didn't get the same support that this Amanda Edwards woman got running for Congress.
But all of that is grassroots because Amanda Edwards already had a strong fundraising operation. She initially was one of the first people that announced running for mayor, and she was one of the top fundraisers then. When Sheila Jackson Lee decided to jump in the mayor's race, out of respect, Amanda Edwards bowed out, and then she took that opportunity to run for. That's exactly what happened. I'm telling you. So she already had a strong.
Sir, I already covered that. I already covered that, sir. Sir, I already covered that, sir. No, that's not the way politics works, sir. That's not the way politics works. Politicians don't just jump around to political seats because they're bored. They have to confer with the. Okay, sir, listen and learn something. You're obviously incredibly ignorant about this, and it's time for you to get ganged up. That's not the way that works. In order for a United States congressperson, this isn't your local dog catcher or your local ice cream salesman. I know you think of it that way, but that's not the way it works. A United States congresswoman, she doesn't just run for office because she wants to get her nails done. She has to confer with the Democratic National Committee. They got to approve of what seat she's going to run for, whether she steps up or steps down. That comes from the party because you're going to be looking for the party to support you. If Sheila Jackson Lee, after all these decades, says that she wants to go and run for mayor of Houston, she got to confer with the Democratic National Committee before she makes that move, since clearly you didn't know that's the way that works. She got to confer with them to make sure that she has their support to run for mayor and that she's not running against somebody that they want to run for mayor instead. So what they told Amanda was, you know what? Yeah, we're going to swap y'all. She can run for mayor, you run for Congress, you're going to have a longer runway. And Sheila thought that she was going to get the same shoe-in support for mayor that she usually got for Congress, and she got her ass kicked with all 4 feet. But now the die is cast. She didn't realize that it wasn't Amanda being shepherded to your seat. We were shepherding you out the door, which is why you were encouraged to run for mayor, an election that we knew you couldn't win. And after, sir, key word, after Sheila started running for mayor, she realized she wasn't raising no money. We got the campaign finance records. She realized now she wasn't raising any money, and that's when the light bulb went off for her. I'll be damned, y'all are scuttling me. You're sinking me. You're going to kick me out the door. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to go run. Y'all think your little light-skinned golden girl going to get it? Well, I'm running for, spoiler alert, I'm running for Congress again. And the party's letting her know, yeah, the decision has already been made. We've already made the decision.
The entire scenario is based on assumptions.
Sir, you see how sir, I'm not assuming what happened with her campaign funds, sir.
It's based on assumptions.
No, sir, it's based on it's based on the facts. It's based on the facts. How do you outraise somebody like that? Sir, you just sat here and named off everything. That's not an assumption how much money she didn't raise, sir. Is that an assumption?
No, the money that they raised is not an assumption.
What happened to Sheila Jackson Lee's fundraising?
The dynamics of how things occurred.
Sir, what happened to Sheila Jackson Lee's fundraising?
But the fundraising.
Okay, third time, sir. Third time, since this is an assumption. Third time. What happened to Sheila Jackson Lee's fundraising, sir? Third time.
Do you know that we just came off a mayor's race?
No, sir. Okay, as I say, this is ignorance. This is ignorance at work talking here,
Houston,
sir. This is ignorance talking here. We all know where her fundraising money went. It went to Amanda Edwards. The money is still there. It just didn't go to her this time. It went to the one the party has chosen. That's where it went.
But the point is it was already going there during the mayor's race, which really just ended a few months ago.
Thank you. But Sheila didn't know that, sir, as I just explained. Sheila didn't know that was happening until after she decided to drop out of the congressional race and run for mayor. That's when she found out they turned off the spigot.
Which is exactly what I said. Which is exactly
okay,
what
sir.
I said.
That's that's what I no, sir. That's what I said.
That's
you
what
didn't.
I said.
No, sir. You didn't say anything about the money.
Mistake.
I said that, sir. You didn't say anything. You're clueless about this. I said that. You didn't say a word about it. I said it. So if you ever take out, sir, if you ever take out the time to learn how politics actually work, you wouldn't be so clueless about this. No offense, no insult. This is incredibly clueless. You don't have, sir, a United States congressperson doesn't run for any seat by accident. If they don't have the party telling them this is the move, they don't make that move, sir. They don't do it. You're thinking about running for high school class president. That ain't the way it works when you're talking about the United States congresswoman. It don't work that way. The spoiler is when she decides she's going to double back and try to run for Congress, knowing full well you no longer have the support. She's just hoping she can get a Hail Mary and spoil the Democrats' plans to get her out of that seat. It was clear from the beginning the goal was to get her out of that seat, and they pretty much almost succeeded. Get off my phone and go read a book. If you all want to know how it is that Sheila Jackson Lee thinks she can win, is because of dunderheads like that. That based on the number right there. Okay, then I tell them about the campaign numbers. See, that's what I've been saying the whole time. I knew it the whole time. That, folks, you don't have a United States senator, United States congressperson with all the damn lobbyist money that they get and all the connections they got and everything. They don't make those moves out of nowhere. Sheila Jackson Lee did not decide to leave her congressional seat to run for mayor because she got bored. She did that because the party told her, yeah, we want you to run for mayor. And they told Amanda, we want you to run for the congressional seat. And Sheila would have been fine with it. Sheila was going to go ahead and take that demotion like all the mammies do. She was going to take that demotion. And then when she started running for mayor, she realized, I'll be damned, the party ain't giving me no money. And she from Texas. She saw what was happening very, very clearly. She read the tea leaves very, very clearly. Oh, y'all are scuttling me. You're getting ready to dump me. But you're not going to find that out until after you start running and after you see you can't raise no money. Then when she realized that, she's like, okay, Whitmire's raising a ton of money. My ex-intern is raising a bunch of money, but I ain't raising no money. And that's when she realized, oh, y'all have decided to put your support behind her. And Sheila has said, well, I'll be damned. She can have my congressional seat over my dead body. She's trying to pull a Nancy Pelosi. The only difference is Nancy Pelosi can probably pull it off. Sheila Jackson Lee, I will not say it's impossible, but I will say it's very clear that the political establishment and the financial political establishment have chosen Amanda Edwards. And Amanda Edwards didn't need 10 years of work, nor does she need 2 years of running. They're like, yeah, we've seen enough. You're up next. You're up next. He thinks politics works the way it did when he was running for high school mascot. No, it doesn't work that way. The United States congressperson don't move unless the party tells them, okay, now you move. Seats are too delicate. Seats are too fragile. They don't just sit up here and do this stuff willy-nilly. You don't sit up here and take somebody who's won for 30 years like Sheila Jackson Lee and then just on a lark tell her go run for mayor. They wanted her out of the way so they could get somebody else in that congressional seat. And they found the person they want to use. And Sheila Jackson Lee found out that she was without a chair when the music stopped. Now she's just saying, can I get some spite up in here? Calling from area code 708. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, this is Russell.
My Russell, where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm from Chicago, brother.
Russell from Chicago, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I was just checking you out, man. I was actually on YouTube and yeah, it's live on there. And I was like, man, I had heard which I just wanted to talk talk on a point when you was just talking to the brother just before us, before the brother you was talking. That the question was, what about black people? The problem with black people? What the brother, I think, what the brother was trying to say is, like the black family.
Do you really want to go there? Do you really?
No, brother. Yes, I will.
Do you really want to try this? Are you sure you don't want to? Are you certain you don't want to? Okay, brother. Are you certain you don't want to sit and meditate for a moment before you say anything else? You sure you don't want to get your chakras together and meditate before you try this? Are you sure?
No, I got it, bro. I swear I got it. I think I'm yeah.
Oh, righty.
Yeah. All right.
All right, give it your best shot.
What I'm saying is the family. What I'm saying is, and it look like it's a lot of men on this channel. We all, and you will verse and all that. I respect you and all that. What I'm saying is, the thing is the family structure of a lot of not all black people. It's like it's the fatherless homes. I don't think people, kids ain't, we ain't been getting raised right because a lot of the guys, families were broken and
okay, sir. Sir, how did the families get broken?
Yes, sir. From when the government, when all of us got on welfare and shit.
Oh, in other words, you mean, white supremacy. In other words, white supremacy. In other words, white supremacy, sir. In other words, you mean white supremacy, don't you, sir?
It's a part. Yeah, it was a part of the.
Oh, okay. Well, because you and him said it wasn't. You and him said it wasn't. Yeah, but you and him said it wasn't. You and him said it wasn't, though. Now you're saying, it is white supremacy. Okay, there you go. There you go.
I understand. Look, I agree with that, man. It was the system that did it. But the thing is, we had a choice. We had a choice in that day.
Sir, how much choice do you have in the system of white supremacy, sir?
Look, I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying the fact of it.
Sir, how much choice? Sir, calm yourself down, or I will calm you.
Okay, all right.
Sir, how much choice do you have in the system of white supremacy, sir?
I'm just saying it ain't
second time, sir. Second time. Right, how much choice do you have in a system of white supremacy, sir? Second time.
How much what?
How much choice do you have in a system of white supremacy, sir?
We have a choice of what we do personally. Everybody.
Okay, sir, I didn't ask you that question. Third time. How much choice do you have in a system of white supremacy, sir?
What I'm saying is every person that makes a choice.
Sir, I will ask this for the last time, and if you don't address it, I'm dropping your call. How much choice do you have in a system of white supremacy, Nimrod?
But what is white supremacy?
Okay.
What do you mean,
sir? You were given, sir. You have been given every opportunity to address the question. Sir, are you telling us? Sir, are you telling us that you don't know? Sir, are you saying that you don't know what white supremacy is?
I'm saying I'm just saying a lot of people
sir. Second, a yes or no question, sir. Sir, that's a yes or no question. Sir, yes or no. Are you saying that you don't believe in white supremacy? Sir, are you saying that you don't know what white supremacy is?
White supremacy, I'm like the KKK and the system that got the founding fathers and
sir,
races and
sir,
slavery and all that.
Where are your people from with that accent?
I'm from Chicago.
No, you're not.
Chicago,
no, you're not.
Inglewood.
No, sir. I said where your people from. Where are your people from? Your great grandparents.
See, I got my daddy is from Texas.
No.
And my mom is from Chicago.
No, he keeps saying Chicago. No, sir.
Texarkana.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm definitely Chicago,
not.
bro.
N-O-T, not.
I went
sir,
to Harper.
how do you define white supremacy?
Inglewood.
Sir, how do you define white supremacy?
And I'm from the land.
Okay, sir.
And look,
last
bro,
try.
Years old, man.
How do you define white supremacy?
Look, white. See, I don't think of it like it's white supremacy. I think we're fortunate now. I think it was really bad before, and a lot of people died in order for us to get the rights that we have right now.
Sir, are you saying that there is no? Are you saying there is no white supremacy today? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think people. Yes, I don't think it's white supremacy like the way you're saying, like it's hyped up the way it is. I think people have biases. Yeah, some white people may look at black people differently because it's on the TV that black people be doing a lot of crazy ass shit. And that's what the fuck they see. And when we look at the TV, a lot of shows, they just show us fucked up shit that white people do to us. But it's, I think everybody has biases. But I don't think the system, the whole system of America is racist, because you seem like you a guy that got cheese and you got your shit together. And the guys that's on this, the guys that's on your line, they sounded like intelligent men. You know what I'm saying? They got ideas and stuff. But
and are you one of the intelligent ones? I wonder.
Yeah, if you a good man and you a man, that means you. Judge,
are you saying that you're one of the intelligent ones? Judgment. You're one of the intelligent ones.
I'm just giving you my point of view.
I asked a question. Are you saying you're one of the intelligent ones?
I believe I'm intelligent. I don't know. You would have to tell me if you think I'm intelligent.
I think you're a damn idiot.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, buddy, I'm telling you, it's a full coon moon out tonight here. It's a full coon moon out. So the folks of questionable lineage are calling up to tell us ain't no white supremacy. That's the problem right there. Y'all don't understand. It ain't no white supremacy. I don't know what y'all talking about right there. That's the weird problem. See, we just be doing messed up stuff to ourselves right there. We just do that. The problem is the family. Why is the family broken up? Oh, the government. Oh, you mean white supremacy? Oh, damn, didn't know. Damn, walk right into that one. I mean, no, I mean, it is that, but it ain't that, but it is that, but it ain't that, but it is, but it ain't, but it ain't. Folks, I mean, 720 degrees of the analysis you receive absolutely nowhere else. You saw how easily he broke. One question, broke it. Just asking, what's the problem? The family broke up? Okay, why is that? Oh, white supremacy. The government. Oh, the white supremacists, you mean. Remember, we did this over a decade ago with Professor Sheena Howard. I did this over a decade ago. I taught the world the template over a decade ago with Professor Sheena Howard. The template hasn't changed. The methodology hasn't changed. If you do the exact same questions that I did 15 years ago, if you do it 15 years later, it's going to work exactly the same way. And they will look just as foolish. Caller from area code 832, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, it's a long night. This is Jay out of Houston, Texas, man. How you doing?
Jay out of Houston, what's on your mind?
Hey, I actually want to, talk about the two brothers that called from Houston, one from Third Ward, and the other one, I forgot where he said he was from, but in Houston. But I'm actually living in over here on Homestead, and this Amanda chick, she's not well known. I mean, she's well known if you look at the signs that they put on the street corners, and you see her face. But other than that, she's not in any local events or anything that you'll know about her from. So I think that he's kind of misled about that. I don't know if he met her or whatever, but that seems to be like the way that
he sounds like a Democrat. He sounds like an active Democrat. I'm serious. He sounds like he's just a regular Democrat, and he's calling us up to try to shore up her bona fides. Because you got to understand, there's a reason why I gave you all the heads up I did. The poll that was taken there has got only Sheila Jackson Lee is only ahead by like 5 points. So understand, this program could reach enough people in Houston to decide whether Amanda doesn't win or not. So you damn right, they're going to have some folk call in and be like, hey, get on those airways and put in a good word for her. So don't be surprised if that's the kind of thing that happens to us all the time. The Democratic National Committee listens to my program. They listen to the new black media, especially me. They do that all the time. So don't be deceived. He sounds like a Democrat. Right. He sounds like a member of the Democrat Party, and he's here to try to make the case for her. Oh, she ain't just dropped in out of nowhere. But the truth of the matter is, she certainly hasn't put in work for a national seat. She hasn't done that. And yet, look at where she is.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say this too. I'm sorry to cut you off. But like, I never heard of her. I've been here for the longest, man. Like, I've never heard of this Amanda chick. I knew she was running for mayor. She dropped out because Sheila Jackson Lee was running. Then now she's running for the congressional seat, whatever. Okay. Now there's another person running. I know he's against AIPAC and all the other stuff, so that's probably what they want to push him for, because they want to get the older person, which is Sheila Jackson Lee, out the way. They want to get this newer person who's pretty much another embodiment of Sheila Jackson Lee. But when I was looking at her agenda, if you look at that agenda, what she's saying, it doesn't make any sense, because they're already building housing out here, but the housing is unaffordable, as it was stated in so many articles. I mean, literally, like, they're building more houses out here, but the houses are becoming more unaffordable for the native people that lived here, or the people that are, I would say that their money isn't right at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but your money can't be right when a house costs $450,000. There's not going to be enough people with enough money for it to be right. Everybody wants to go fill it off in the sugar land and everything. And I mean, there's not enough of that to be able to be right. Now you add to it that she's one of the folk here who wants to allow, if you ask her, she wants to allow over unlimited illegals. So no, you're talking about your population going up by 4 million people. That ain't no damn joke, man. That's not a joke. You're not going to be, you can't build houses quickly enough to deal with that type of influx. And you can't say that those are all just people around America wanting to move to Houston. That ain't it. You're talking about illegals. You're talking about dropping them off there in these unprecedented numbers. And the goal is so that within 10 years, they won't have to court to the black vote at all. That's their goal. We'll have enough illegals over here that in 10 years, we won't have to even court the black vote at all. We can just tell you niggas get off my lawn.
Right. Hey, question, man. One quick question before I leave, because I want to make this quick. Hello?
Okay, brother, you said you had a question. Let's get to it.
Oh, so what do you think Roland Martin's going to pull up to Houston support Amanda over Sheila?
That'd be an interesting question right there. That puts him in a quagmire, doesn't it? Now, I didn't mention him earlier, but that would put him in a quagmire. So who do you support? Because you're riding on the razor's edge no matter which way you go. If you support Amanda and Sheila wins, you in the doghouse for the rest of your damn life. But if you don't come out and support Sheila, who you've been supporting all these decades, well, you still look like a traitor. So even if you're quiet, that's bad. And of course, if he comes out and supports Sheila and Amanda wins, well, Amanda will never have to address him or acknowledge his existence ever again on the because of the fact that she was able to win without him. So yeah, he's in a tricky situation here. He's in a tricky spot, man. This is not the place you want to be. If you're a big butterball, this is not the place you want to be. So my prediction is he stays quiet. That's my prediction. My prediction is election night, he ain't really going to be saying very much. He'll just be, if he says anything, he'll be just the facts. But he takes a big risk if he tries to endorse somebody, because this election is too close. And you already see that Sheila Jackson Lee is losing momentum. So he needs to support somebody, but he can't. If he does, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't. I couldn't think of it happening to a nicer guy. Thank you for giving us a call here tonight. Couldn't imagine it happening to a nicer guy. Caller from area code 702. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Kelly, and I'm calling from Vegas.
All right, Kelly from Vegas. What's on your mind?
I wanted to speak about Sheila Jackson Lee. I agree with everything that you said, but I'm very connected to this because my mother's entire side of the family lives in her district. Also, what I wanted to say about it is Sheila Jackson Lee, for the longest time, has been basically an infiltrator of our people. She is not one of us. She cannot trace any of her lineage back to any plantation here in the United States, but yet has pretended to be one of us. She has basically sat and let the majority of our people wither on the vine out there in her district because of different corporations, namely one of them, Union Pacific Railroad, which was poisoning and has poisoned this entire area with creosote. And so a lot of her constituents have died, have gotten sick, have had to move, whatever. And I think that they thought that because of the immigrant population that has been dumped off into that area, that that was going to be her shoe-in. And it's backfiring on her in every hand in sight. And I'm glad that it is, because just like in the article that you were reading, is very true. And I have tweeted this many times. She was the quintessential queen of symbolic gestures. She was always at somebody's funeral. She's always showing up at different events, giving out proclamations. She'd show up at people's houses to, go and get grandmama's dinner, get a plate after church or whatever. And then lately, since 2019, she had brought in Aaron Brockovich to her constituents to try to figure out what to do about them being poisoned, getting the weirdest forms of cancer, houses being boarded up, whole blocks of our people, our freedmen people that have died, babies being born with their intestines on the outside. She knew this the whole time she was in office, but they didn't care, because they didn't care. All they wanted to be were the only Negroes in the room. They didn't care. They were the elitists with the politicians out there, and I have one out there also, and I'm not saying it just to stab at her, but I have a family member who is also a politician in that district, and he is dead to me, to make a long story short, because they've all worked in cahoots with each other for decades. They knew this and did nothing, and now it's coming back to backfire. It's backfiring on them, and I'm glad that it is. And I just wanted to say that and get that out there on the record. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Tonight, let me get caller from area code 713. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, this is Tony from Houston.
All right, my man, Tony from Houston. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, I just happened to tune in tonight. You talked about Sheila. I moved here in '87. Sheila Jackson, the lady who called in, really, she covered it. That's what prompted me to call in. I mean, Sheila Jackson Lee has been worthless to the black people in her district for years. The lady was also right. Sheila Jackson Lee is not a descendant of American slaves. She is a Caribbean background, Caribbean descent, Caribbean heritage. She changed her name to Sheila Jackson Lee, which sounds Southern. And the old guard, the old black people from the wards, and those days they voted for her for a chicken dinner and some red pop and some watermelon. The lady was right. She shows up at funerals, and she shows up whenever there's a camera or microphone, so she can hog all the activity and all the action. And basically, that's all. The people in her district have never, ever, 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 ever gotten any representation from her. But they voted for her knee-jerk reaction, because that's the way it's always been in the wards. And but she's absolutely worthless. When she ran for mayor, you were exactly right. She had no support, none whatsoever. And but I'll be glad to see her go, because she is just absolutely worthless.
Well, if you had told Sheila Jackson Lee that this was the way it was going to go down 5 years ago, she would have been scoffing and mocking like she was 5 years ago. She takes it a hell of a whole lot more seriously today, and we could have warned her that this was happening. But also, by the same token, we're part of the cause of it. Her support hasn't softened out of nowhere. The support softened because people are questioning her across the spectrum now. And that didn't just show up in 2024. That started happening in 2016. So that's what I was saying. When you take a look at her, how her performance in 2020 was the lowest one she had before then. It should be no surprise in 2020 she got the lowest performance against a primary runoff race than she had before then. Now she's doing even worse. Yeah, you could have predicted this, because she doesn't have any good news to offer.
She's just like you always say about them old niggas, the Clyburns and the rest of them. They're just the old niggas trying to hang on to something that the writing is on the wall. They need to shuffle on into the spotlight somewhere else. I appreciate it, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Yeah, I mean, In 2002, she won by 94%. 2010, 67. 2018, 85. 77% in 2020. So in 2020, you saw her go up from 2010, and then you see her start coming back down again. And that should have given you an idea. There's a problem here. There is a problem. And losing the race for Houston mayor by 30 points. That's telling you that these folks are saying that the writing is on the wall. And that they're ready to send you out to pasture. Sheila Jackson Lee says, I ain't gonna go. Okay, she might beat the odds. She might just beat the odds. I don't know, folks. There's another dimension of this that we haven't mentioned here. If Sheila Jackson Lee does win, I wonder if her viewpoint of the Democratic Party would change. If Sheila Jackson Lee is able to prevail over the Democratic Party, I wonder if that would alter the way she sees things. Would she be more defiant if she's there, if she realizes that if she has to win, but she has to win without the support of the party? I wonder if it would make her more defiant towards the party. I wonder if it would. Or if she would just sit there and say, yeah, I knew I still got it. I wonder, but if it did make her more defiant to the party and she started adopting some more useful positions on things, I wonder. Well, we won't have to wonder for very long. In 48 hours, we'll find out if Sheila Jackson Lee gets to keep her seat or if it's going to be more of the same. We get to find out exactly what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, Black Channel Films, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank Akegus. Thank you very much for your support here on tonight's program, and to everyone who has contributed on PayPal, Venmo, and our Indiegogo, which is live for our newest documentary film, 8 a.m., groundbreaking all-star lineup in it. I can't wait for you all to see this. This is a game changer. I want to thank all of you for tuning into tonight's program. Thank you for watching live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.